Go watch it. Now that we're done with the non-spoiler review, this movie is unfortunately not really what I wanted it to be. The ending of No Way Home set a vibe where he was going to be sad, depressed, no friends, no family, independent, Spider-Man 2. You know, why not recreate something that's really good? But since it's a Tom Holland movie, it has to be happy-go-lucky, and I don't care for it anymore. Anyway, his organic webs are gross and I love it. A lot of fun. Legos are a lot of fun. He plays with them with Ned during that one scene, and it's adorable, even though Ned shouldn't be there. Very entertaining. If you can turn your brain off. Woo! Start off with the opening montage. So listen, the opening montage is a bunch of villains he fights and defeats. That's cool and all, but then the rest of the movie is like a 2-hour-long version of it that's worse. It's so convoluted and messy, I could hardly even think about what the movie was about once I was done watching it. What was the point of Jean Grey? No, I understand the point. The movie needs a villain. But, like, why did she suck? Just hear me out. What's the point of going after Spider-Man in the beginning? He's clearly not the president of Damage Control, but the man who is seems to be a fairly public figure, so there has to be an easier way of figuring out besides going after Spider-Man. She pretends to be MJ in that one scene to get him vulnerable for some reason. And then, she doesn't even do anything with it. She reveals Spider-Man's identity. Cool. What was the point of that? Why did you need to know? He's not president of Damage Control. She has an opportunity when he's all happy and melancholy because it's MJ. And she says, I remember you, and I love you, and then they kiss, and it's great. But then she's like, ha ha ha, I was Sadie Sink the whole time. It wasn't MJ at all, you stupid idiot. In that moment, she could have, or before she revealed it, got into his brain when he was vulnerable to figure out, just to double check that he wasn't president of Damage Control, I guess. But then she doesn't do anything with it. Why is she going after Spider-Man at all? Oh, dude, this is my favorite part. Spider-Man versus the Hulk. I didn't see any trailers. I don't know if it was hyped up. It was the most interesting fight, which is a bad thing because it wasn't great. It was isolated in one floor of an office building. Why were they fighting? Is it because he put the tracker on the back of his neck to try to... Not the tracker, the thing, you know what I'm talking about. It's lazy writing to get a fight to happen. I'm so sick of it. He should have just been Bruce Banner. I loved that cameo. Stop it at that. They punch each other in the face for multiple minutes until you realize that both characters have far too much plot armor for any stakes to be taking place. Any good Spider-Man movie has to have that many fight scenes with the main villain. This one has multiple, each one with a different villain, and I am not interested in hardly any of them. Because again, I didn't see the trailer, I knew the ninja guy would be there, and finally when the ninja fight happened, I was excited that something interesting would too. Spider-Man gets beat up, he starts bleeding, he's all sad, and then he turns evil, and then splooges all of his webs, and that's it. Nothing even happened. There was not any good fight scenes. But the whole point of having two fight scenes is for the main villain and for Spider-Man to get a feel for each other, and then later on in the next part of the movie, they fight again, they know what they're up against, and they're better prepared, it's interesting, and the stakes are higher. When there's a new villain every single fight, I don't understand what the stakes are supposed to be, besides, haha, fun fight with Spider-Man. It's stupid. On par with Amazing Spider-Man 2, this might be the most convoluted Spider-Man movie, which I would give No Way Home instead. But you can't compare the two. There's so much crap going on, I could hardly pick out the pieces of corn from the vomit in my head that the movie spewed on me, that I could hardly even comprehend what the entire movie was about by the time I was leaving the theater. And I really wish that people would stop saying, well, it's convoluted because it's setting up for things for future projects like Doomsday. The current project should not have to suffer for the sake of setting up something else. Oh, and they really pretended to have a moment here. Spider-Man gets shot. Huh. You're right. Like, Spider-Man's gonna die? Get over yourself. My friend brought up a good point. When he died, he was all sad and he was bleeding. He was like, oh no, I'm gonna die. Jean Grey, get out of here. Could you imagine if Venom showed up and saved him? Squeezed in there, mend his bones or whatever he shot and then fixed him? Oh man, I bet you wish the ending was better now too, huh? Alright, so now forget about all this. I'm freestyling now.
Now it's time for that part of the show. It's the nitpicky stuff that make movies blow. Word.
Peter gets upset because MJ has a boyfriend, so he swings in the rain, gets all sad, and goes home, passes out, and has black eyes. He wakes up in a cocoon of his own webs, falls out, and starts hitting his face on the sides of the ledges on the apartment building he lives in. He can still climb walls. He didn't lose any of his powers. Why can't he just, grab on and be fine? It's way too dramatic. But then he goes, and then nothing happens. And then he goes, again. What was the point of him doing it a second time if it didn't work the first time? He's smart enough to where you'd think he'd immediately try to go towards the next solution to this situation he's in, but no. Then he suddenly has organic webs and they work. Why didn't they come out the first time? I don't know. But then, after that, he tries to crawl through the window in the little laundromat that's in the bottom of his apartment, and then he falls down like a dramatic little baby, and then the guy sees him, and it's a joke. He's still Spider-Man. He has not lost his powers yet. Why can't he crawl elegantly inside instead of being so dramatic about it? You can say, well, because the guy was there, so it wouldn't make sense. But it makes even less sense because he didn't know he was there. It's a whole joke in the end of the scene. When he tries to put on his mechanical web shooters, his real ones shoot them off. And then Evie's like, oh, sir, I'm sorry, we can't actually use your mechanical ones with the organic ones. They're incompatible. Why not? Is it because the hole where he splooges it from is beneath the web shooter? Then move it an inch upwards. What the heck? It's just for the sake of him not having backup webs. It's so stupid. I saw the villain twist from a mile away! He was so calm and a little too pleasant for my personal liking, you know? I could tell. And you could say that it's better that you could identify who the villain is in the twist before it actually happens because that means it wasn't a last minute rewrite. It just takes away from the effect of the actual twist when it happens though. So I was not impressed. Alright, just put the video into not full screen and just get ready to dislike me really quick. I was waiting approximately 2 hours and 25 minutes for this movie to get good. Clock's still ticking. I didn't love it, man. I think it was too long. It had so many plot points that just felt like they would try to topple over each other whenever the other one was slightly exhausted. It was really hard. In the moment, it wasn't impossible to keep track of what was going on, but by the time I was leaving the movie theater, I was trying to write down each plot point that I could even vaguely remember because it was just so, like I said, convoluted. Alright. Now, if you already disliked, go down to the comments and just get ready to tell me something mean. I hate MJ. I never liked her. She was forced on us in Far From Home in the opening scene. Ned and Peter are talking about how we're gonna ask her out. Well, Peter is, you know what I'm trying to say. It's out of nowhere, and the writers knew that it was because that's why they put it in the opening scene, because in the beginning of a movie, you're trying to comprehend any small details you possibly can to start connecting the dots to figure out what this movie's even gonna be about. And they put it in the beginning because they knew it didn't make very much sense, but you could accept it easier if it's the only thing you have to go off of in the first few minutes of the movie. I just don't think they had much chemistry. They're not similar at all. You could say opposites attract, but whatever. It was just to have a girlfriend in No Way Home for there to be more stakes, which I get. But I was looking forward to this one because in the last one it made it seem like he wasn't going to have a girlfriend because he even tries to go back to MJ in the end of No Way Home and decides, you know what, no, I'm not going to put her in harm's way. I'm going to let her have this nice job. I'm going to be Spider-Man by myself. And I loved it. I was so excited for this movie because he wasn't going to have a girlfriend. Finally. Spider-Man doesn't need a girlfriend. Just go out with Ned. He's way better. And yeah, they don't date, but he's very wishy-washy about the whole thing, and I am just kind of tired of it. I understand how it adds to the plot, like Peter's own emotional desires he's having. I just am so tired of it. I don't want Spider-Man to have a girlfriend. Hashtag kill Spider-Man's girlfriend. Not to mention, am I the only one who finds it weird that Ned and MJ are friends? I mean, they went to MIT, sure. They're trauma bonded because they both have the memories of Spider-Man saving them both, which makes sense. But I don't understand why they hang out with each other for fun as much as they do. They never seem to have anything in common with each other. Ooh, here's a good one. I had a thought. Peter is watching Ned's Instagram repeatedly throughout the film. I don't think he should be. I think that's bad for his mental health. It's like stalking an ex-girlfriend, seeing what she's up to, only be heartbroken to know what can never be again. And it works out in the end because it's not his ex-girlfriend, it's his best friend, but still, I think it's a bad message to be on social media watching people when you know you're not supposed to be, and you know they're not supposed to be in your life. Because I have plenty of experience, it never goes very well. Ned and MJ both basically remember Peter in the end. Ned pretty much does with that handshake. That was adorable. That was adorable. I should have put that there. That was adorable. MJ acknowledges they had a relationship, but it's like, but no, I'm choosing not to be in your life. Which again is, I hated that argument because she was like, it's not your decision to choose if I'm in your life or not. And then she says, you know what, I'm not going to be in your life anymore. Yeah, because that's obviously the best scenario. But just everything that starts going back closer to normal from before the spell and the end of No Way Home just takes away more from the ending of No Way Home. That's what bothers me most about it. I already mentioned this. The ninja fight scene kind of sucked. Because again, he was just getting beat up. Oh no, I'm bleeding. In his lowest point, he decides to become evil Spider-Man, which I finally think is going to be the interesting moment that the entire movie was building it up to be, because they were setting up the ninjas from the very beginning. He splooges his web, does a barrel roll, and then it's done. There was not enough good Spider-Maning in this. That's the worst part. I don't love Sadie Sink very much. She's the same character in every single role she's been put in. She was that in Stranger Things, which is fine because that's her character. And then The Whale, Brendan Fraser, same thing but worse. And in this one, she's the villain, which I didn't mind because that at least means she's going to probably die. But what an idiot I was, because of course they have to set her up to be something later on. I am getting really tired of Sadie Sinks going in people's minds with her powers to have an emotional moment with people who died from the past. A lot of the Spider-Maning looked really green screened. The green screen wasn't bad by any chance, but it was just so obvious. It felt like a student film green screen, you know? I didn't love it very much. It took me out of it a lot. Which is a shame too, because they had so much of the real swinging filmed. Saw a little nitpick behind the scene. And I don't know why they have to taint everything with CGI so much just to make it look fake. It was a shame. The Punisher was absolutely adorable. I loved him very, very much. I didn't watch Punisher show, so I don't know what his motivations are. I don't know what he's doing there. I guess his family died or is gone somewhere because of when MJ opened the shelf. And so maybe he wants to have a little baby boy like Peter to take care of now. I don't know. I wish it explained it more. It's getting really annoying having to watch every single bit of Marvel media just to understand one thing that's happening in the next movie. I would have liked to understand what the point of him was. But he was great. The Scorpion came and went so quick, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry about it. He was set up 3 movies ago, and I was so excited for him. It was going to be great. And then he shows up, beats up Spider-Man for like a minute and a half. Spider-Man defeats him, and that's it! And I understand it's probably setting up again for it to be in a later movie too. Why can't you just have something set up for crying out loud, instead of infinitely setting other stuff up? This isn't a big deal or anything, but why does Spider-Man know Black Widow's sister? Yeah, they probably met somewhere off screen, but it just was bothering me a little bit. There's no explanation. And then there was the end credit scene. Spider-Man's in space. I can't wait, because we've never seen that one before.
Thanks for watching me weep and moan. It's time to go on Twitter, complain on my phone. Go out and watch a movie. I wish you good luck, because who knows these days, it just might really suck.